Guys, for some reason, the world's still on fire. I have no idea where the hell all of this came from. I thought that this shit was going to be like 2 or 3 days like it normally is, but now we have a whole bunch of beachfront property we need to sell.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, it's not climate change. So we know one of the reasons that it isn't. But yeah, California being on fire, this is like the big scary one that people have been worried about for a while. And it's just so weird that it happens right as Trump's coming into office. Or maybe that's just like divine intervention. I don't know. Because this is a tricky topic. If you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all. And it's hard to not be mean spirited about this, but goddamn, California's getting what they voted for, aren't they?
I don't know. It's really genuinely hard because I've heard and seen 2 different answers to all of this. And one of them, I don't know if it's just conspiracy theory bullshit and I'm buying into something because, believe some shit because the world's fucked up, or if it's just because no, it's kind of both of these problems and I'm not really sure. So personally, I've heard that Newsom has refused or lowered the budgets in order to clear out the forests and stuff like that, which is why a fire that caused started in the hills is coming down through the hills because they haven't been cleaned the way that they were before.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen any substantial evidence to that, but logically, it makes sense.
I've seen enough where like someone's like, "Hey, community notes, can you fact check this?" It's like, yes, the budget was cut.
Like, even if it was just the budget was cut and it wasn't
Mhm.
removed completely and they didn't do it at all, obviously they needed that money. Like, that's the biggest fucking thing that we could ever
Well,
say
that's
right
the
there.
craziest thing to me is like how many billions in taxes is California getting because they have a state tax and then Los Angeles has a city tax. What the fuck is a city tax? That's wild. And then you can't even find the millions it takes to clean out the brush and actually make it to where a fire won't happen. And apparently, this is also because of environmentalists. There's an environmentalist group that sued the state of California saying, "Oh, you can't do controlled burns because smoke is bad for the environment or some shit." And now because of that, like they have to do some kind of environmental survey, which costs millions of dollars if they want to be able to do a burn. They just haven't because it's too much of a hassle and now there's a fire. And you know why there's
Okay.
no water? Because of a smelt, a fucking minnow.
Environmentalist retard. Take the balls out of your throat for a second and think about this, okay? We have been doing controlled burns all across the country
Before humans existed, the world
since
did
Native
controlled burns.
Americans. As people, as humans, we did this. The world has done this, even if it's a normal fucking thing. Why is it a bad thing? Normally, if you have burnt ground, new growth pops up, it's not dry and dead. That's what we're supposed to be worrying about. What the fuck is going on here? Then, the other thing that I saw, and this is the one that I'm confused about if it's real or fake or whatever. And I've seen like 4 or 5 of these videos, and I don't necessarily know. And that's the hard part is like, does it smell right? Sort of, but I'm not necessarily sure. Is I've seen videos of people pouring gasoline on these fires. We're starting fires in vehicles or in dumpsters and then them growing.
Yeah, it's happening. Like arrests are being made because it turns out illegal immigrants are just jumping into the chaos and they're lighting fires to burn everything down.
And it's just like, okay, so there's 2 really, really big reasons why people would be starting fires, right? Like, let's go full conspiratorial here and say they are. They were fully manufactured fires. Okay, so why? There's one company reason, and 2, there's a very, very big rich person reason. Which one do you think is more realistic? The insurance company burning all this shit down because guess what? We canceled all of your fucking claims last year. All of them. They were all canceled last year and they're still being canceled now. You sent me a link for just the trending page on it. And
Yeah,
guess what? January 8th, somebody is calling out fucking, it's this link.
State Farm.
Yep. Somebody is calling out State Farm right there. Fuck you, State Farm. Screw you and all your phony crap commercials. Your pile of crap for canceling insurance policies of Californians. I will never use State Farm insurance again.
What's
And
the
this is
community note
because
say? Oh yeah, that's like because of
California,
the law though. Effectively, State Farm was forced to do it. Price controls on insurance companies in the state makes it impossible for insurers to price the coverage accurately. So pretty much California is saying like, oh, big evil corporations not allowed to increase the price because then they're just trying to get money out of it. But then State Farm's going, guys, you're not clearing the forest out. There's going to be a fire. We cannot insure this unless we double how much it costs, and you don't let us double, so we have to pull out.
Okay, so first off, insurance company, assholes.
Yeah. But somehow not in the wrong. California makes insurance companies not in the wrong in this case. That's how bad California is.
And that's fucking insane to me. And normally I'd be like, explain that. And it's like, no, there's nothing to fucking explain. They're both the asshole in this situation. Let's not sugarcoat that. They're both the asshole. Fuck both of them. California for not clearing up the fucking mountains and everything else. They left all the fucking fire available
Mm-hmm.
shit on the fucking ground. And then fuck all these insurance companies for backing the fuck out when people need them.
No, that's wrong. You cannot blame the insurance company here, and I just explained why. They're not allowed to raise the prices to match the liability of the area. So they either go bankrupt or they pull out. It's not the responsibility of the corporation to go bankrupt.
So think about this. Think about it this way. I live on a mountain. There's only one or two ways down this mountain and stuff like that. When we were impacted by Hurricane Sandy and Irene in 2009, whatever that was, there were thousands of houses washed away. Do you think we're mandated to carry flood insurance?
I don't know. Are you? Probably not.
We're not a flood location.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
on top of a mountain. Why would you carry flood insurance? It's stupid.
That's the gamble you take. You got to get all the insurance. I think that's fair. Where it's like you get cover, like you pay for what your coverage is. That's the only way insurance works, because if you have too low of a policy, because flood adds another 200 or whatever to your cost, well, that's because yeah, there's the 5% chance, and that $200 is the 5% chance. Without it, those 1,000 houses, they weren't paying for that much coverage, so now the insurance company goes out of business because they don't have the $1 billion, even though it's not that much, to make up for it. When they also aren't expecting a disaster.
Well, then you
Insurance
have
is
the
insuring yourself. Like you're making a
yeah,
bet that you will have catastrophe. That's what insurance is.
but then you also have the problem of them saying, okay, well, FEMA will handle this. That's why you guys don't have to carry flood insurance. FEMA will handle it. And then FEMA says, oh, you lost this? That's worth $500. Take this, go get your clothes, move on with your life.
Well, that's just government corruption. That's also making no sense. Where it's like Biden says, "Yeah, don't worry, we'll cover California." Now it's not like each individual house or anything, just the
Yeah,
state, how much it's going to cost. But then doing nothing for North Carolina. So that,
it
and
makes
then
no
we're also
sense.
giving billions to immigrants in Ukraine. So like, I don't blame the insurance companies for that either.
No, and I don't genuinely disagree with you there. It's like, hey, we should clean this up. You know what this is? A jobs program. That's what this is. All of it. The fires, the problems in North Carolina, any natural disaster like this where fucking towns are gone now. I know what we
Yeah.
should do? Hire all of the fucking unemployed people that are willingly and able to fucking work
Hmm.
and go build the fucking city back together.
Well,
Just
bureaucracy
put it
doesn't
back.
allow for that. That we already covered this, where the Amish, they can build houses for 20,000, and California can't even build them for 1 million. So we
Not
have a
even
huge problem.
houses, tiny houses.
Yeah. Well, just any kind of dwelling after a disaster or to help those in need. The Amish will do it practically for free, just for cost, and they're fine with that. But then the government comes in and says you can't do that. So there's too much bureaucracy, too much red tape. That's why we just need like 90% of government to get removed, and then we have probably a really good country again. Where it's like, yeah, don't stop the community trying to rebuild itself after you take their money away. I think that goes into the true conspiracy about disasters, is the government just wants to steal your land. Because you see that where it's like, hey, you have nothing left. We can't give you anything to rebuild your house, and insurance isn't covering you. We'll give you 10K for the land, but it's worth 50K. We'll give you 10K and maybe a
What's
mobile home.
50K? Have you ever looked at the fucking housing prices of that area?
No, but like just the land value, whatever. Where it's just like we'll give you 25% of what it's worth and a mobile home you can live in. If not, we're going to fine you for not paying your property taxes.
Destroyed land is
Yeah,
what they're going to end up
exactly. It's
doing.
we're going to fine you for not paying property taxes, and we're taking it for nothing. So you can have your 10K in mobile home, or we just steal it from you, and you're not allowed to have that tent because it's not up to code.
Honestly, I think that's exactly what they're going to do, regardless of if these were millionaires or not, because that's what a lot of the
That's a lot
homeowners
of land
places
to put
were
those
there.
homeless and illegals on. It solves all of California's problems, doesn't it?
Honestly, what's to say they don't bulldoze all of this shit and just start new there again? It's not
See, it's one of those
crazy.
things where like the conspiracy is how much by design is this? How much by design was the destruction of the middle class from COVID? Like, I'm not saying they manufactured COVID to do it, but when they saw the opportunity, suddenly the middle class eroded. That Americans aren't
Walmart
getting
and
their jobs
Walgreens
back.
were, let's go, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like you're allowed to go to Walmart. You're not allowed to go to mom and pop store who was already struggling to begin with. Americans didn't get the jobs back. It all went to illegals and Hispanics and Indians and stuff. And then we also have it to where you're just shut down and you're not allowed to socialize. You're not allowed to talk. All of the government was censoring social media. Not allowed to be critical of vaccine. You're not allowed to say the death rate is 99 or 0.1% like it is. So like, oh, they just use this opportunity to destroy the middle class. And now we see it in disasters. That disaster happens. How did this disaster happen? They make it to where insurance companies have to pull out, and then they don't clean up the cause of it, and then they don't fill the reservoirs because they'd rather protect a minnow than millionaires. That's weird.
And to me, this is where it gets weird, okay? And it might be super fucking pseudoscience bullshit, and I accept that. But which is worse to you? Chosen ignorance or doing something on purpose and being malicious?
Yeah, see, it's like what's incompetence versus malicious because you look at what they're doing with the DEI, that the fire chief is just cutting the budget, but she's only there because she's lesbian, and then one of the like lead fire people says like, "Oh, if a man gets himself in a fire, that's his problem, isn't it? The people would rather be rescued by someone that looks like them, big lesbian Hispanic lady."
I had
That's
that
one of the
argument.
links.
I had that argument with one of the local places because
I
so
hope
many
that's
of the
one of the links
local
that might have come
places.
out
I'm
later than when
looking.
I sent you.
I'm looking.
Yeah, but
Um,
everyone knows about that story.
yeah.
So like that seems more incompetence than malicious, but maybe it all is a part of the design. I'm not saying the government put an agent out there to start lighting fires until something stuck. What I'm saying is they created the environment where if something happened to happen, GG.
So
No,
that's
I'm talking about the other lady. But yeah,
oh,
this
I
is
thought it was these
that's the
two.
fire chief. So she's like the lesbian, yeah, first female LGBTQ fire chief because those definitely matter when trying to prevent fires and tragedy, and that she is definitely a strong, able-bodied person to be able to help in a fire disaster. And I think she also cut the budget by a few million or didn't approve of a budget increase. But no, then there's also this other lady who's like one of the fire water somethings.
Yeah. So I had the same argument with
And
a
again,
local
she's a
firefighter
person
and
of
stuff.
color individual that's like, yeah, people won't be rescued by someone that looks like them, where she's
And
overweight. And
I don't disagree with that openly, like completely. To
if
me,
I'm in genuine trouble, I don't care who the fuck saves me as long as they can. That's racism to think that
and
someone wants to see someone like them.
yes, I agree. I agree. That's where I am completely.
Hmm.
Is like I want you to be capable of doing your job. Milo said this on PK back in the day, and it's kind of always stuck. And I've always had the same exact argument. He's like, you don't want two female cops and two female firefighters rolling up to your house that's on fire. It sounds like that's going to be a bad time.
Oh, it's the diversity chief. Even better.
You don't want to deal with your house being burnt down by two females that are incapable of carrying you out of your house because you're absolutely incapable of walking out under your own power. I can't see the website because I don't allow ads.
Oh, I'll try to find a Twitter link then. I thought you would have
I,
already seen this part.
if you want the person's picture to show, that's fine, and just send the image link.
I'm working
Um,
on it.
whatchamacallit? And I told them, I was like, that is my biggest fear. This chick, who I assume is like, 4, 5 years younger than me and like 80 pounds heavier than me, like pushing 220, something like that. It's like, well, you're a skinny fucking white man. You think anybody can't carry you? The fuck's your problem? I have my job. It's like, bitch, you're a volunteer firefighter. Do you do the same amount of fucking pull-ups that the old 60-year-old dude barely can do? Because I don't think either one of you guys probably should be on the team anymore. We have a problem.
Yeah,
Like,
this is the weird thing about like the empowerment movement where it's like some people are better at doing things than others, and this is for some reason why we need to just erode gender in general. Click on the link. We need to show people.
yeah, I got it. I
Yeah.
was waiting for you to finish up your
Well, you can just pull it up whenever I'm talking because it's my point that we need to make.
I go.
Yeah, so LAFD's $300,000 per year. So that's what I mean. Like, also, where are these diversity positions coming from? Why does it take like $250,000 a year to call everyone racist? Yeah, $300,000 a year sparks fury for defending DEI by blaming the victim. He got himself in the wrong place. There's like a video where this is like, yeah, you want to be rescued by people that look like you, but what I have to say about people like the man that I can't carry, he shouldn't have been there. He got himself in the wrong place. That's that's
And it's
that's
like,
what DEI is. That is the contempt for the white man, and that is held
not
in
even
the institutions.
not even white dudes. Like, think of your
Well, just
grandma who's
man,
like 400 pounds and white.
straight man. Yeah,
Oh, she can't walk out of the fucking bathroom. She fucking collapsed on the floor and presses her help, I can't get up button. Now all of a sudden you have two females in here that are fucking 180 pounds, 200 pounds that can't fucking lift up their glucose shot this morning and barely trying to lift grandma. What happens if she falls again? They're going to sue the volunteer firefighter department? What the fuck is going
well,
on here?
also, like, if they're having a heart attack and they need to be inside of that ambulance on the way to the hospital, and every second matters, and it takes 10 minutes to get them out of the house, fuck, dead.
Like, to me, fire every fat fucking piece of shit. Every single one that cannot do their job. Every single one. I don't care if you're a female or a dude. If you're 65, retire and stop with the volunteer firefighters. I support it. Like, I'm so happy you want to help your community, but your community should pay you.
Yeah, I mean, like, we
There,
need that good incentive. And
why
also,
why is
if
there
three
no
hundred thousand
volunteer
dollars can go to a
police?
diversity chief, and all these other billions can get wasted, like that's the crazy thing. When you go back just a couple decades, it used to be a scandal if someone misappropriated like $1 million to some stupid thing. Now, $1 billion. Oh, where'd it go? Who knows? 24 billion. Like all I heard growing up is we just need $16 billion to cure all homelessness in the country, and then California with 24 billion just loses it, and
Okay,
homeless gets
these
worse.
numbers are not going to make sense. And if the rest of the country's set up differently than my locality, it's going to be a little bit different. But there's like 40 fucking towns in a county, and like they're all spread out like 5, 6 miles apart and stuff like that. Why, instead of having, all of these individual firehouses supported by donations and this shit and that shit, why are these not federalized? Why is there not just you have to have a fire department every 15 miles in a 15-mile circle? If you don't have a firehouse within 15 miles, one is made. Like it's not fucking hard. Like, why is that not federalized? Why
Well,
are these
I'm
people
pretty sure
not federal employees?
there's probably some voter thing where a person will pull up. Well, in 2005, this county voted against it because it would be a 0.5% tax increase. Like that shit happens too. People are retarded, and then when they're the ones that need to be rescued, it's not going to be who they need rescuing them.
Meanwhile, you want the old fucking old man and old lady that absolutely could not be firefighters if they were paid to do so, walking up to your house with a rubber boot, being like, hey, could you donate to the firehouse, please? Please, guys, we'll save your house if you do. It's like, are you telling me you won't if I don't? Like, what? Do I need to
Don't they
donate a
have that
thousand
though?
dollars?
Like that's happened before, where people don't pay
Yes.
the firefighter tax, and then their neighbor house catch on fire. The fire spreads to theirs, and then they only put out the neighbor's house because the person didn't pay.
And it's like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, why is that the choice? Why is the old man that can't fucking walk and the 20-year-old fucking DEI hire that decided, I want to be cool today and hang out with my grandpa, eh, who are fucking firefighters for some reason, but yet can't lift their fucking Ozempic pen? Why do you
That's
want
not
them
the
to save your
choice.
house?
That's the only people being hired because the white man in his 30s is like, I want to fucking save people. Let's go. I'll do it for 30K a year.
Hired? They're not hired. They're
No, no,
just,
I'm saying
I
no,
want to
but
be it.
no, like volunteer firefighter. I think you might over exaggerate that. Most firefighters are paid,
Mm-mm.
and yeah,
No, volunteer firefighters are not paid. They're given tax incentives.
I'm not even talking about volunteer. Like there's paid firefighters at
Oh,
every
yes.
fire station. Yeah.
Not every
So
fire station, but yes, I agree.
how many firefighters paid? But what I'm saying is like, because that also came out that there were stories of people saying, "Oh, I applied to be an LA firefighter like 5 years ago, and they said I had to wait because I was white, so they had to wait, like hold me off for 4 years to make sure."
And that's
Oh, volunteers
disgusting.
are 65%, and then we have that. Either way, it's still like it's enough to where like you don't have to use the word volunteer. Like there's enough paid firefighters out there.
No, I'm saying that, okay, so this is where there might be a difference locality wise. All of the places around me are completely volunteer firefighters. They claim that they're volunteer firefighters. They brag about their tax incentives. Their tax incentives are like $3,000 off their taxes.
That sounds terrible. If you're only getting like a $3,000 discount for the job.
When all of them are in poverty, what does a $3,000 tax deduction do for you? It makes you lose money because they don't understand money.
Yeah, they don't understand tax brackets. Oh, cool. We can see by state. I found like a thing. Either way, so like, but again, there's posts of people saying like, I'm the 30-year-old
They should do this. Yes,
built dude
absolutely. I agree.
that wants to do this, that applied for the job opening, and it was said like, I'm too white and male, I'm not allowed in.
Stupid answer. You all know what job this should be for? You know, all of those either retired or active duty fucking
Wow, yeah. New
rangers
York
and
is a
stuff like
fuck
that.
state. New York is 90% volunteer. How'd that happen?
Yeah. And like if you cut out the city, I guarantee you the rest of it's fucking volunteer other than like two or three cities. It's fucking retarded. That's why I said I don't know if this stretches across the country or not. But if that's how the
California,
country is,
California is 30% career, 15% mostly career.
so still 55% volunteer firefighters that get
In
a
a state that always
$3,000
catches
tax
on
incentive.
fire, that has billions in tax revenue for existing in California.
So you tell me that this wasn't fucking malicious incompetence.
Yeah, like
It's
yeah,
bold.
it is because like you won't even take the free person that can solve the problem. You just go, nah,
Like
you're too white. We can't have you work for free here.
as I was saying, think of
And then
how
they
many
give a
people join
300K diversity
the
position.
army or Marines or whatever that live in those fucking towns. Set up fucking locations within each county or within each region, and they fucking work out of their home fucking fire department and helps protect their fucking town. Like, why is that fucking insane? That sounds pretty fucking logical to me.
And the weird thing is like now I'm scared to know like how many of the actual paid firefighters are just diversity hires. That's probably where all that money's going.
Or in the big cities. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you
Yeah,
have
well,
a
I mean,
city
even
like
in small
you
cities,
need
like the
a fire
three
person.
paid positions are the three DEI positions.
Mhm. Or they're the good old boys that, barely got the job because they're finally able to do something, blah, 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 blah. It's stupid, man. It's honestly stupid, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I have a lot of other links I posted. Pick what else is going wrong with the fire.
So, well, you brought this up before, and the absolute destruction of this fucking aqueduct and shit is fucking ridiculous. Which one? Which that link? Having so many links up at the same time is a fucking pain in the balls. But the fact that they did this over protecting a fucking minnow is retarded.
Yeah, and the thing is, environmentalists will say, well, it's one of the like foundational species. That if you lose the minnow, then the ecosystem collapses. I fish. I'm an outdoorsman. That is bullshit. Like the what's actually happening is that there's too many largemouth bass and too many striped bass, and those are predator species that are making it harder for the salmon to live. So all the salmon problems aren't because there's enough minnows for them to eat on. It's because they're getting preyed on by the predatory fish. So that's the thing. Also, weird thing, they haven't seen a smelt in like 5 years, and I think when they did a study like 7 years ago, they found one. So the species is practically extinct, anyways, and everything's fine. Still tons of bass around. Turns out that bugs and other minnows and crawfish and stuff, they do just fine.
And to me, and this might be, smooth brain retard Zach returning. if a fucking species goes extinct and they're not like groundwork fundamentally a reason why we live,
Well, that was the claim because also there's like
why
people living
should
on
we care?
reservations that need the fish from that water supply to live, but it's like it's not because of the smelt. And then also taxpayers supported a bill where it was like billion, I think that's the 2.6 billion tax thing. They voted for that. In 2014 they said, "Hey, we'll pay more taxes, just build some more reservoirs."
Yep.
Zero built.
In 2014, it says voters handed California 2.7 billion under Prop 1 to secure the state's water's futures from
Prop
the new
1,
storage
the most
projects.
important issue cuz water is important in California.
10 years later, not a single reservoir is complete. The centerpiece, Sites Reservoir, promised to add 1.5 million acre feet of storage. But thanks to this endless environmentalist reviews, permitting delays, and skyrocketing costs, construction hasn't even started.
Welcome to bureaucracy and corruption. We just need to fucking close the entire government.
No, and then you had the smooth brain lefties saying shit like this. They said, guys, we can store water in our cities. And they're like, how do you do that? You know, those big white jugs, you fill those with water and you put every couple firehouses, you have 6 of them in it. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I didn't see anyone say that.
I saw 2 or 3 people saying it, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's the water storage that they think they're talking about. Is that there's supposed to be municipalities in every city that hold gallon jugs of water.
That's you're getting Russian bot farmed right there. That's not real people.
Probably I don't fucking care. I think it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
But either way, like the whole reservoir thing, and like this has been writing on the wall for over a decade, where it's like, hey, farmers are struggling, so we're like harming the country, we're harming exports, we're harming millions of people for a shit fish that doesn't do anything, and even if we lose it, okay, then what? Nah.
It, it just it
And then
genuinely doesn't
also
make sense.
not clearing out fires because smoke bad. Let's make more smoke by having a bigger fire.
And here's Trump's quote. And share this tab instead. Press this. Bam! Look at that. Governor Gavin Newsom refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snow melt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including the areas that are currently burning in virtually apocalyptic ways. He wanted to protect an essential worthless fish called a smelt by giving it less water. It didn't work, but didn't care about the people of California. Now the ultimate price is being paid. I will demand that this incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California. He is to blame for this. On top of all of it, no water for fire hydrants, no firefighting planes, a true disaster.
It is kind of crazy how like California has done everything to make this happen. Like for some reason, the homeless problem is so bad that people are stealing fire hydrants. That nothing was done about that. Now there's no fire hydrants. There's no water in the few fire hydrants, and that is the kind of weird thing about the smelt issue, is that water was being redirected just straight into the ocean, not to give it to the smelt over there, but to take it away from the smelt downstream, and it's still a worthless fish. It's not one of those. Like that's what the environmentalist argument is like. Oh, but that's a foundational species that without it you can't have an ecosystem because it feeds everything else. Well, when it was already like endangered and nothing else about the ecosystem was falling apart.
Okay. I thought you were being an exaggerative asshole. No, they're legitimately stealing fire hydrants.
Mhm.
Once
Yeah,
again, Verla's
piece of
always
popcorn
right.
kernel. Yeah.
Um,
Well, I saw the post. I've been sending all this stuff.
I know, I know. I have all your posts up. I'm going through them, but like at the same time, it's like, oh no, that sounds exaggerative. And it's like the things that aren't exaggerative are the things that people are
The,
poking
the
holes in, and it's
that's
like,
what's
what the fuck is your
making
problem?
that's what's making being right these days as a conservative so terrifying. It's like I know when something is true. It's like this has been confirmed, and even I'm going, nah, that can't be real. There's no way that's like I can't be that right kind of idea. It's like California's not that
Yeah,
bad where they're stealing fire hydrants, right? No, they are. It's as bad and probably and then you have to think, oh wait, if that's only the public information, it's actually worse than that. Kind of like the whole
yep,
UK migrant scandal that no matter how racist someone is, they would have never assumed it was 200,000 victims of gang grooming from immigrants. No matter how, like No one could imagine it's that bad of a problem.
Holy shit. So I just read one of the links that you gave. You said that it was a 30-year-old active dude. You didn't look at the name. The
Yeah, it's
dude's
Adam
name is
Carolla.
Adam Carolla. He's not a 30-year-old dude. He's probably like 45, 50.
No, but he said he tried to do this like a decade ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Mm.
agree with you. But like now he's like 40, 50. Even if somebody goes to find this link, that's how old he is in the fucking clip. It says he applied to be a fireman in LA and was told to wait 7 years to test because he's white. 7 years later, when he took the test, he asked a black woman there how long she had to wait to take the test. She responded Wednesday, which was less than a week away.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
It really is like they sculpt the environment to make it to where like, oh, you are racist if you notice these things, but it's actually like, no, if you're a white man, you are just not allowed to exist in California or society anymore, and everyone else is getting privilege above you. And then they just say like, oh, you're a replacement conspiracy theorist. It's like, how do you explain that? How do you explain the $300,000 diversity person saying like, you shouldn't be in the fire. That's your fault, not mine. It's like, brother. And then you're not allowed to get a job, and then 9% of jobs go to white people after COVID. And
When
then this
your
happened. And then this is
entire
what happens when you kick white men out of society. How am I not supposed to sound racist?
2007, the Sierra Club sued the U.S. Forest Service to block categorical exclusions for controlled burns under an EPA, claiming that the process was needed a 3.5 year review because obviously bureaucracy is better than wildfire prevention. Controlled burns are essential to reducing fire risks. Fast forward, the John Muir Project in 2018 and the Center for Biological Diversity in 2021 pulled the same stunts, halting critical fuel reduction plans. Even Trump discussed the auspicious effect of clearing the brush off the forest. For some reason, Newsom seems to choose to ignore it. That is fucking insane.
I said this at the beginning of the show. You
I
should
know.
have. I give you the links. You don't read them, and then you're surprised when you finally pull them up.
Oh, I wasn't surprised. I've known the shit. I'm trying to go through the links and have them in order of how we talk to them. I got just a spit full of links. I'm trying to go through them I got this, buddy.
You guys
Trust me.
spend 5 minutes before the show to figure it out.
Got to put them in order. That's what we got to do. But the shit's fucking crazy. That to me isn't the craziest fucking picture though. I think everybody now has seen this picture though. McDonald's.
The one of just the neighborhood leveled.
No, it's the McDonald's fire in Pasadena.
Hi, dog.
This picture is fucking insane. And it's this one. And boom. That picture is fucking insane. Do you
I
know
don't
how
think so.
hot that has to be for that to be that orange?
I'd imagine there's saturation going on there.
It's posted on NBC USA Today. Here's another picture on Fox Business of another McDonald's engulfed in flames.
Yeah, there's a lot of fire, and it's getting like,
hot.
yeah. Well, it's also getting like dispersed through the smoke, and that's why everything's orange because fire is orange.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
the crazy videos when someone's just like, "There's the fire 3 miles away," and then they pan and a tree is on fire next to them. It's like, how the fuck does an ember light a green tree like that? That's crazy.
Yeah, this shit's insane. It's like the Hollywood Hills are on fire. I don't know who the fuck Mike Brock is. I guess he's followed by John Cena.
I just had like pictures and whatever people were saying.
But this shit's insane. Los Angeles has had a Democrat mayor for 23 years, a Democrat majority in the state assembly for 24 years, and a Democrat governor for 13 years. Yet you're still trying to make this about Trump.
Yeah, that's the derangement right there. That's like the unbelievable part where it's like, again, this was all crafted, and the cognitive dissonance does not allow for anyone to accept any mistakes, especially if their ideology has been that for decades. And then Or it's always whataboutism. It's like, well, conservatives, they drill for oil, so you're not allowed to say environmental things. Yeah, so
Honestly,
that's most of what's going on with the fire.
I feel bad. Like, and I know
I
you
don't.
probably do too. It's like, no, I feel bad for the people losing their houses. I feel
They
bad for
voted
those
for it.
people. I don't think that that's the right way to think about it at all.
Again, when someone's like when that person taking a picture is blaming Trump as there was a fire within fire distance of his home, I cannot find sympathy. That person does not see the physical, tangible results within spitting distance of their decisions, and they are still trying to make it about someone else. Also,
It's
same thing where
sad.
it's like you voted for Newsom. Newsom makes it where insurance is forced to pull out.
It's okay
Sorry.
when he's the, president nominee for
Actually, yeah,
fucking Democrats
I even
in
upgraded.
4
I have
years.
less sympathy than I've led on because anyone voting for Newsom after COVID, when he was having private parties where there was no mask, no social distancing, you vote for that evil man, and your house catches on fire. I don't fucking care about you. Good, good. You got what you deserved.
This is depressing though, man.
Okay, I guess let's park in.
Yeah,
This
that's what fire does.
That's sad.
That's what happens when you hire diversity and then don't allow reservoirs to be filled. And you don't check like again, and also these people are there on their own accord spending 60% of their money in taxes between state, federal, and city tax just to watch their money go not to fix homeless, not to fix they have chosen to be there despite all the other problems. I cannot find any sympathy. Because it's also not like, oh, they're too poor so they can't just relocate. They can sell their $10 million house and live wherever the fuck they want.
Yeah. And I don't disagree with that part. So many of these people are so fucking rich and so available to do whatever
And
the
like,
fuck they
what's
want.
that county? That county is probably like 90% voted for Kamala or something. So it's like, yeah, 10% that got unlucky. Then why are you even there? Why are you in a place that hates you? When you have, like, if you're in California, you have every availability to move out to anywhere. So yeah, I can't find it. I can't find it.
I don't know. I feel bad for the people that lost everything. I don't feel bad for the government. I feel like they are completely doing this on purpose. And it's the blind leading the sheep. They are retarded and wanted to fucking kill people. The government legitimately did this on purpose, whether it's ignorance, maliciousness, or both. They did it on purpose. They cycled that fucking fire.
Yeah, it was methodical.
You're muted. You didn't say shit. Unless you're just mouthing words.
No, like I said shit. I said
Nope.
words.
Nope. Nothing. Nothing.
Like it's not working.
Newsom took away your right to speak, buddy. Yeah. Nope.
This isn't muted.
Nope.
So,
Maybe my headphones disconnected, but like honestly, nope. Yep. Guys, we feel bad for the Californians. We love them. We feel bad for them. We hope that everything gets better. Burles is sitting here disagreeing with me, telling me I'm an asshole, but I'm going to say it. But guys, we have a whole bunch of new beachfront property. And guys, try and swipe in. Buy it on auction. We'll see you fucking next time. Goodbye.